Governors have descended on Washington this week. We're pleased to welcome two of them, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal and a governor who didn't have to travel quite as far as the rest of them, Maryland Democrat Martin O'Malley. Governor Jindal, I want to start with you, and I'm going to get right to it. Right after the 2012 elections, you said, well, I'll just play what you said.
We've got to stop being the stupid party. And I'm serious. It's time for a new Republican Party that talks like adults. It's time for us to articulate our plans and our visions for America in real terms.
You said we've got to stop being the stupid party. Well, how's that going?
And that's exactly right. That was an RNC audience, and you could tell there was some nervous laughter when I said that. Look, I've got an op-ed coming out tomorrow. As a party, we can't just be the party of no. As a party, we've got good solutions. We're going to be meeting with the president. One of the things I want to share with him is that this president, this administration has a chance to be laser focused on job creation. We're not doing that. You know, this president feels like he can act unilaterally. He feels like with the pen and the phone he can make decisions without Congress. I don't necessarily agree with that, but if he's going to make those decisions, they do things. For example, let's increase domestic production of energy, creating hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs. Why not delay all of the mandates in Obamacare, which has become such a job killer in our economy? We're at an historic, a 36-year low in terms of our labor force participation rate. The Republican Party should be the party of growth and opportunity. Why not approve the Keystone Pipeline today? In 5 years of studies, tens of thousands of jobs. The Obama administration's own folks have said, no, this is not going to do damage to the environment if we approve it versus rejecting it. There are specific things the president can do to create jobs. The Republican Party needs to be all about growth, opportunity, creating good-paying private sector jobs. We are now in the middle of one of the weakest recoveries since World War II. My party needs to be the party that says we've got real solutions on education. Let's be for school choice. Let's be for tenure reform. Let's say to the Democratic Party, stop being captive to the teacher unions. Let's give every child the chance to get a great education.
What about immigration?
On immigration, look, I've said all along that people that want to come into this country, work hard, get an education, that's good for them, that's good for us. There's nothing wrong with Republicans in Congress saying, let's secure the border first. If this president was serious about moving forward with a comprehensive approach, he would start by securing the border. We don't need a 1,000-page bill. It's not complicated. Right now, we've got low walls and a narrow gate. That's the opposite of what we need. We need high walls and a wide gate so that more people can come into this country legally.
Let me ask you this. Since you said we've got to stop being the stupid party, the government was shut down. People blame the Republicans for doing that. We've had Republicans undercutting their own leadership in both the House and the Senate. Do you think there's some sort of a disconnect between Republicans outside Washington and Republicans at the national level and those in Washington?
Oh, look, absolutely. I think there's a disconnect between the American people outside of Washington and the folks in D.C., Republican or Democrat.
Well, talk about your side of the street.
On the Republican side, I think if you want to see conservative principles being applied, you see it at the state level. So you see governors, for example, in Florida, in Ohio, in South Carolina, in Michigan, in state after state with Republican governors, you see the unemployment rate going down. You see private sector jobs being created. You see Republican governors taking on public pension reform to tackle long-term debt. You see Republican governors embracing school choice and tenure reforms. You see Republican governors cutting taxes, creating good jobs, balancing our budgets, doing fiscally responsible things. If you want to see conservative principles being applied, you'll see them outside of Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. has been the one recession-proof economy these last several years. Unfortunately, you do see a type of crony capitalism in our nation's capital. The administration, the Obama administration, continues to give favors, breaks to favored industries and companies. Out in the real world, you see Republican governors balancing their budgets and growing their economies.
What do you think about Ted Cruz and the impact he's had on your party?
Look, I think he's passionate. I'm not one that wants to engage in Republican fratricide. I don't think we need to beat each other up. I think that it's a good thing that there are Tea Party and other conservative members active in our party. Think about what he's trying to bring to the attention of the president and the leadership of Congress. Our debt was $9 trillion when the president took over. President Obama criticized President Bush. Now the debt's over $17 trillion. It's not projected, the budget's not projected to be balanced at any point over the next 10 years. Our children and grandchildren have to pay that debt back. At the state level, in Maryland and Louisiana and other states, we have balanced budget requirements in our constitutions. In Louisiana, you can't raise taxes without a supermajority. The budget can't grow faster than the private sector economy. I think it's right that folks in D.C. need to stand up and say, we can't just keep spending more money than we're taking in.
Are you going to run for president? Are you going to explore it? Where are you on that?
No, look, the honest answer is I don't know. We've got 36 governor's races this year. We've got the control of the Senate, control of the House. We're focused on that. I've started an organization focused on winning those war of ideas called America Next. We're developing detailed policy ideas. It's not a PAC, it's not a super PAC, not one-page policies. Detailed policy ideas on how do you replace Obamacare? What's an energy plan? What's an education plan so every child gets a great education?
Governor, it's a pleasure to have you here today. Good luck while you're here, and I'll be interested to see what you do say to the president and how that comes out when you all meet.